Trevs Hockey Show. I'm the Trev. It's too sweet. Anyway, so let's jog your memory. Do you remember back in October where we did a video talking about the dismissal of Stan Bowman and the promotion of Kyle Davidson to interim general manager at the time? This one right here. Link will be right above you. Well, after 4 months, only 4 months, and countless interviews, including Davidson himself, and even going outside the hockey bubble. After all that, the Blackhawks just decided it'd be simpler just to remove the interim tag from Kyle Davidson's name and promote him to full-time general manager, or their 10th general manager in team history. Either way, let's discuss. So here's some brief history. Davidson has been with the team since 2010, when he began as a hockey operations intern. And he went through all different roles with the team since, before being promoted to assistant general manager in 2019, and then promoted to interim general manager on October 26, 2021, which I've already supplied the link for. And since he's been on, not just as a general manager, but as an interim general manager, he's already made and seen some changes, most notably releasing former head coach Jerry Colleton earlier in the season. And the link there will be above you as well. And ended up replacing him with Derek King, who's also on an interim basis. Prior to October, Davidson has no general manager experience at the NHL level. Being an assistant GM, though, you have general manager experience with the farm club. But some of the moves he's made so far, be it they have all been small moves, have seemed to be going into the right direction. But really, the true test will be how A, the rest of the season goes out, B, the summer when the draft and free agency start to happen, and the main most important one, trade deadline, which is coming up in 20 days. And being as it stands right now, Chicago being out of a playoff spot, it'd be interesting to see how aggressive he pursues being a seller, because you got to think he's stockpiling for future now. But as for going back to free agency here, a lot of the UFAs are probably pretty much out the door, but I mean, when you got RFAs that are going to need huge raises in their contract, i.e. Dominic Kubalik, Kirby Dach, and Dylan Strome, be interesting to see how he can make all that work, whether he has to trade existing contracts or just let them explore offer sheets or other things that might not include those agents being on the team. But you think he's smarter than that. I do have to say, though, when they had the presser after they parted ways with Stan Bowman, promoted Davidson to interim, and discussed the next general manager, the way they made it sound was like Anaheim, where it would have took them a long time to do. Probably a year or so, but much like Anaheim, it took them 4 months to decide this. My own personal opinion of the situation, as far as Davidson in the role of GM, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, he only had a year and some under Stan Bowman, but he's been up and down the Chicago organization for the last 12 years. But again, with no prior GM experience and basically learning on the fly this year, the team he can put together after this season, we can just see what it looks like. But either way, I think it's a good move for Chicago to keep Davidson in the fold. He's familiar with the structure, the team, and how it operates and how it's supposed to work. It could be a good thing for the Blackhawks. So that was another one of Trev's hockey shows. I want to thank you for tuning in. Don't think I don't appreciate the gesture, especially if you're right here. It's a great thing for all of us. So let's keep the good times rolling. Give me a like since you're here. It's only fair. While you're at it, if you haven't already, that red button that says subscribe all over it, hit that thing. Stay up to date with all the content I'm putting out. My lonely little social is in the description down below. Moving forward, well, see what happens in between now and trade deadline, because that's my next intended regular season video, but you know how these things go. It's really hard to predict, but either way, in the meantime, and in between time, be looking for more videos from Trev. Later.